So Donald Cowboy Cerrone has re-entered the drug-free sport testing pool, looking for a UFC return sometime in 2025. I think at least with USADA before, you need at least 6 months of clean tests, which famously, Brock Lesnar didn't have to do that and tested positive right after his fight. So rules can be broke even with the more stricter USADA, so we can expect him to be back in about 3 or 4 months maybe. Which also makes you wonder, Cowboy was openly using TRT, which is steroids, legal steroids prescribed by your doctor. I do wonder when someone openly uses steroids if the drug tester will put him through a more stringent program. You do also wonder if Cowboy is really going off them, or if he started using them and went, I feel amazing, I can juice and compete with the young guys. Because people do say a lot of guys are on steroids anyway, which I do believe Cowboy didn't use them prior. There's nothing about him that screams roid juice. He's not muscular, and he didn't have crazy cardio, he didn't hit very hard, clearly athletically dropped off in his late 30s, so if he comes back all muscular and fast twitch, I mean he's on them. But at his late age, there's arguments you need steroids to be able to compete. TRT made 37-year-old Vitor Belfort fight like a 20-year-old. But then there's the argument that you built up so much knowledge and technique by your late 30s that it's going to be hard for the youth to beat them. But to be quite honest, the only way he can make a successful comeback is to use steroids, because his last few fights, he was getting hurt a lot and out-muscled. Like Alex Morono, he just came out a Cowboy right out the gate, and his game plan was just to bully him. Don't let him settle. A bit of roid rage could help prevent that, you know. We look at his record, and his last win was in 2019 against El Iaquinta. He then had 7 fights and lost all of them, except against Nico Price, which it was a good fight, but it was a draw, overturned to a no contest because Nico smoked weed. So who's he gonna fight, right? Is he getting brought in to fight a Nick Diaz or a Tony Ferguson rematch? These would be cool fights we want to see. I think he beats Tony right now. I think Tony just forgot how to fight and what made him a good fighter. He used to be a tornado and he trusted himself to come out less hurt than you. Nick Diaz, well, Nick Diaz is on drugs, isn't he? We've heard multiple people come out and say he's on meth, people that know him. A clean and shake Nick Diaz, I think he can beat Donald through size, pressure and pace. I do think there's at least a few people that Nick Diaz can beat at welterweight. But you can trust Donald to come in ready and able to fight more than Nick Diaz. He doesn't have any crazy drug addictions and he likes to train, so I put him as a favourite. There's also a few matchups, like against Neil Magny. I think Neil would be able to smother him, but still. There's Bobby Green. He's an older guy, even though he's at a higher level than we've seen Cowboy. Jamie Mullarkey is the name I'd like to throw out there. He likes to throw down, but probably won't kill Cowboy. Michael Johnston, that's probably the best option other than Tony and Diaz. That would be a cool fight for the OGs. I do wonder why he's coming back though. He has a rich family. There's a story on how he asked his grandparents for a ranch and he got one. But he does go through money like crazy. Maybe he just loves fighting though and feels all fit and roided up. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.